The newsroom with details on that situation tonight. Michael?
Yeah, Derek and Janice, things look pretty bad at the Blackhawk Dam this morning, but a crisis was avoided thanks to a phone call from a neighbor and some quick repair work.
Very serious situation, yes. Had somebody not called, it could have potentially breached the bank and would have actually let the mill pond go.
And all that water would have flooded dozens of homes along the Coldwater River, draining Blackwater Mill Pond, where Randy Hall lives, right next to the Blackhawk Dam.
Oh, I knew it was serious. I've lived here long enough to know that that's totally abnormal.
Hall was getting ready to go out of town when his wife was walking their dog and saw the water.
So I called 911, probably within an hour of losing that dam. By them acting so quick and getting equipment here and getting on it, they saved the dam. So.
That equipment brought out to the dam, including bulldozers hauling in stones and excavators to help place them along the weak spots of the Blackhawk Dam.
This dam is 60 feet wide. Water was coming in on the far side of the dam, on that left side. It was actually snaking its way through a tunnel all the way over here and was gushing out, causing this giant hole.
But because of Randy's quick thinking and the response from Crews and Drain Commissioner Mike Hard, a total failure of the dam was avoided.
There's a little community downstream called Pilot Knob. They probably would have gotten flooded out.
At this point, I think we're safe. We're at a spot where the water's not going under or around the dam anymore. That wasn't the case earlier today. Especially thankful that the property owner called. You know, it would have blown out.
Now, the Drain Commissioner says that they will continue work tomorrow to strengthen up the dam so that there will be no more issues. They also plan on having a complete evaluation of the dam by engineers and the DEQ. Now, the cause of that scare remains under investigation. However, the Drain Commissioner tells us it could possibly have been an animal burrowing under it, but that's something that they're still looking into. Live in the newsroom, Michael Dupre, Fox 17 News.
All right, Michael.
Them both today.
Yeah, guys, this was a really fun story to cover. The Burger Boat is like a food truck on water, offering a unique twist on an American classic. The guy behind the idea hasn't even graduated high school yet, but he's already a business owner, and his dad couldn't be prouder.
All right, cheeseburger, ketchup.
Tyler Summers is just 17 years old, but he's already got a seasoned sense for business. After grilling over some ideas, he came up with a unique concept, a burger boat.
Make it to mustard. You want an onion on it?
Yeah.
I just was sitting around one day and I was like, why doesn't somebody sell burgers on the water? I've grown up here my whole life, and I was like, you'd kill it out here.
He's been flipping the burger idea in his mind for the past year and decided in June to make it a floating reality.
He says, hey, Dad, I got an idea. And I'm like, well, what's that? He said, I want to buy a pontoon boat, tear it all apart, and make it look like a tiki hut look, and sell burgers on it.
The scent of grilling burgers has been attracting large crowds to the waterfront.
The line is already way around the corner. It's been going really well.
I think it's one of the most unique things I've seen in a long, long time.
Dad and son got permits from the Health Department and Grand Haven City and had their grand opening a few days ago, just in time for Coast Guard Week.
This morning for lunch, we actually sold out of burgers. I had to go and get more, and right now it's pretty busy.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a great idea.
It's pretty cool. It's been really busy, and that, you know, obviously makes me feel good.
And Tyler Summers will be a senior this year at West Michigan Christian, and he's hoping that the Burger Boat can grill up some really good profits, expecting to make a couple grand this week. And he's also thinking about expanding the business and getting a second burger boat if things keep going well. Michael Dupre, Fox 17 News.
Not bad. Hey, can I throw one more in there? It's a rare thing to see a kid.
County just saw his wish come true today, and he didn't even have to go very far either.
No, he did not. Fox 17's Michael Dupre joins us with that big backyard reveal. Michael?
Yeah, Derek and Annie, this is an amazing story. Kent Companies partnered up with Make-A-Wish Michigan to make this unique dream come true. Alex Chavez is a 12-year-old who lives in Hopkins and wanted a tree house so his family and friends could all enjoy it together. Now that's a reality.
I'm really happy that now I have my wish come true.
And just like that, Alex's treehouse is open. The little boy, who's battling cystic fibrosis, has a lot of imagination and dream big to make his wish a reality.
Like a really good spot for all of my family and my friends to just stay here and hang out.
Technically, it's more of a fort than a tree house, but it's as tall as most trees.
Really high.
You like it that way?
Yes.
There's 2 levels. It's got his name on it. There's even a slide. The main room also has a secret door.
It's a secret place where I can go to my secret room and go down the slide and all the way down.
Since Alex loves wrestling, his treehouse is decked out with WWE. Even the balcony rails look like wrestling ropes. And Alex didn't spend time on the sidelines. He actually helped build it.
I hammered, I did a lot of stuff.
Carpenters with Kent Companies did the heavy lifting and showed Alex how to measure twice and cut once.
He had his high vis and his hard hat on and all the stuff as he was going through it, so it was pretty fun for him, it looked like.
He was out here being, you know, it was different than just presenting a treehouse to him. He got to be a part of the evolution of the entire treehouse from start to finish.
Make-A-Wish Michigan says that Alex is a kind-hearted kid who thinks beyond himself.
This is a cool, unique wish. Some of the beautiful things that he told us is that he wanted his family to be a part of this treehouse and to hang out with him.
Alex's treehouse is now ready to begin making a lifetime of memories.
Thank you to all the people that helped me make my wish come true. It really means a lot to me.
Well, the treehouse only took 2 weeks to build, and Alex says that he still has a ways to go to finish decorating. Of course, he's going to deck it out with a lot more WWE wrestling photos.
How sweet,
Very cool.
How sweet is that? Now, Make-A-Wish Michigan relies on the community help for support as well, right?
That's right. So anyone who wants to donate to them, it can help make other children like Alex's wishes come true. Just a really amazing treehouse. I would love to live there. That's how nice
cool.
it is.
Really cool.
Yeah, and all the donations will stay right here in West Michigan when you donate to Make-A-Wish.
Blocked out of her wheelchair-accessible van.
Fox 17's Michael Dupre has more now on her message to other drivers tonight. Michael, she is not happy about this.
Not at all, Janice and Derek. It's extremely frustrating for Patricia Chirpus, who's been in a wheelchair for decades now. She makes frequent trips around town and to the doctors and says she just can't understand why people are parking on the blue lines, preventing her and others with disabilities from getting back into their vehicles.
It's very frustrating.
Patricia Chirpus suffered a severe spinal cord injury in a car crash in 1973. She needs a wheelchair to help her get around. Her van has a ramp. A ramp that needs to extend 8 feet for her to get in and out of the vehicle.
I've had issues with people parking right in the striped lines, which is not a parking spot. That is the overflow for people with a van like mine.
Drivers sometimes park on the blue lines next to the handicapped spots, something Patricia says makes her see red.
So I went and paid $40 to have a magnetic sign. Can you see how big that sign is on the side of my door? And people still don't see it.
She says in the last 3 years, she's been blocked 12 times because someone parked too close.
Yeah, it says right on the sign, please allow 8 feet. They're not aware of how you're supposed to park in those handicapped parking spots.
Patricia says during a recent trip to the doctor's office, the same thing prevented her from leaving.
I had to wait 20 minutes before she came out, and she moved her car, and I didn't say anything to her.
Did she say something like she was sorry?
She did not. She didn't even acknowledge me.
A similar situation at a Walmart parking lot last week.
She had plenty of room, but she didn't park on her lines correctly. She came out and I explained to her what happened, you know, why I can't get into my van, and she wasn't very happy with me. She didn't say a word.
To try and stop these types of encounters, Patricia has made these flyers to put on cars that park too close. She wants the public to be aware of the rules and simply be courteous to those with disabilities and special needs.
Give me that 8 feet, that's all I ask. You know, and I'd like to maintain my independence as long as possible.
Now, Patricia has asked law enforcement for help. Michigan State Police tell us that they are going to keep a close eye on handicapped parking lane violators. And if you get caught in one without a proper plate and plaque, well, it's a $180 fine. So pay attention to those blue lines.
And it's not just the length of the ramp. It's going vintage for a good cause as well, Michael.
Yeah, that's right, Derek and Annie. It's a blast from the past. This weekend, around 140 buses will be rolling into West Michigan near Camp Blodgett. And with bus names like Moonrider and Boogie, what's not to like? The people who pile into them and make the trip all have something in common, a unique appreciation for a vehicle that's always turning heads and making smiles.
There's no denying it. There's just something about the Volkswagen bus.
The bus helps you slow down life. You go at the bus's pace, you're on bus time instead of normal time.
You get there when the bus wants you to get there.
In 2002, the event Buses by the Beach had its humble beginning with several families and only 12 VW buses, but it's quickly grown into a jam-packed festival. Last year, 132 buses came from all over the Midwest.
Yeah, there's people that take the car ferry across from Wisconsin. People come up from Indiana and Ohio and Illinois, and yeah, we look forward to seeing those people every year.
Each bus sports a unique character from a time that just keeps moving along.
There's so many positives to it. When you drive it anywhere, you're always going to get smiles. Everybody's always giving you the peace sign, thumbs up.
A lot of them have pop-up tops for camping. Some buses have split windows, other bay windows, and some with no windows. And the love of the bus has the power to bring generations of families together.
It is totally a family event. We have 3 kids, and all of our kids have buses. They will all come here with our grandkids, and it's just a really neat atmosphere.
And once you get bit by the bus bug, it's hard to stop.
It gets in your blood and you can't get rid of it. I've had buses since I was 15 years old. And they become part of your life and part of your lifestyle.
The sheer volume of buses in one spot is worth the trip here, but it's also for a great cause. 100% of the money raised goes to the Phoenix Society for Burn Survivors. Those funds go a long way in helping those who have suffered burns readjust to life after their injuries. So there's fun for the whole family and plenty of buses to check out. And remember, don't call them vans. Bus owners are quick to correct you.
I called my bus a van once and I got yelled at. It is not a van, it is a bus. It is a bus life. Bus life makes you happy.
It's certainly a happy way to live life. All are welcome, of course, and you don't need a bus to join this party. You can park there for the day for $20, and weekend passes are still available for $90, and that includes camping. So the weather's going to be great.
It is.
There's so much just to love about that little festival there. There's so much to look at with the different types of buses.
Yeah, was there one that stood out to you in particular?
I really like the paint job of the one that had the peace sign.
Okay.
One thing that stands out too is everybody was telling me that if you're a bus owner, you don't have to worry about speeding tickets. In fact, if you ever get one, you frame it because you're very proud of that.
They're a little slow, is what
Very
you're saying.
They might go 50 downhill with the wind behind you.
All right. Duly
Funny
noted.
stuff.
Thanks,
Having fun,
Michael.
living life the right way.
On China, and today he threatened to more than double tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods.
Yeah, the move has Michigan soybean farmers a little on edge, worried about escalating trade wars. Fox 17's Michael Dupre has more on their concerns tonight. Michael?
Well, Annie and Doug, they're pretty big concerns. The stakes are high in this tariff game of poker. Soybeans are Michigan's top food export, and China is America's #1 buyer for them. A situation that has the 5th-generation soybean farmer that I spoke with worried about the industry's future.
Some farmers could go out of business.
The tariff war going on between the U.S. and China has soybean farmers like David Williams worried they could lose everything.
Can't keep doing something that loses money and remain in business for a long period of time.
The administration had previously talked about imposing a 10% tariff, but now President Trump is considering increasing tariffs to 25% on an additional $200 billion worth of goods from China.
It's a possibility that we might lose the market share that we've had with China and not get it back.
If China looks elsewhere to buy soybeans, Michigan farmers say it will make their difficult situation even worse.
They're a big customer of ours, and it hurts us. It hurts the family farm, it hurts agriculture, it hurts the state industry.
These soybeans will be harvested in September. Farmers are hoping to have a place to sell them to. Williams, who's also the president of Michigan Soybean Association, says they need new clients and say places like India and Indonesia could become the new #1 buyers of American soybeans.
We need to increase the demand from the countries that we currently export to, and we need to develop new export markets for our soybeans. Because if we don't, it's going to really hurt agriculture and the family farm.
Williams says soybean farmers would prefer long-term contracts over short-term payouts, and says when it comes to taxing concerns, to him, the answer is simple.
Free trade, absolutely free trade. The American Soybean Association belongs to Farmers for Free Trade, and that's what we want. We don't want a handout from the government. It's unnecessary. Best case scenario would be to have free trade. We wouldn't need a handout because hopefully we could get right back to where we were. But the longer this goes on, the worse off we'll be.
And it's not just soybeans that could be affected here in Michigan. The tariff also affects apples and cherries, which are also big crops in our state. Right now, the tariff hikes are not set in stone. The Trump administration says it will extend the public comment period on the tariff proposal to September 5th to allow feedback on what tariff rates the White House should use. In the studio, Michael Dupre, Fox 17 News.
Of a kayaker who lost his life over the weekend.
Fox 17's Michael Dupre has more on how he's being remembered tonight. Michael?
Yeah, Annie Derrick, 35-year-old Michael Scott, was a member of the Kalamazoo Paddle Club, and every Wednesday during the summer, they have a paddle. But today's float took on a somber tone as they remember the friend they lost.
Tonight is a rather special one. We're here because of him and because we loved him and we miss him. He just had a way about him, a smile that was infectious.
More than 100 kayaks and canoes crowded Merrill Park for the launch of the memorial float for Michael Scott.
We're gathering our brothers and our sisters, and just this is emotional support.
Michael, a 35-year-old father of two, went missing while kayaking with friends on the St. Joseph River in Berrien County this past Saturday. Officials recovered what's believed to be his body following a search Monday night, but are still waiting for official confirmation. In the meantime, friends who say he wasn't wearing a life jacket at the time are hoping to send a message to anyone else out on the water.
In light of the tragedy recently, we are going to try and educate as many people as possible on river safety. PFD, first and foremost. It's there for a reason. It's going to save your life, regardless of what happens, and anything can happen on the water at any given time. It's always about being safe. Safety comes first, no matter what.
The Paddle Club hopes to make this float an annual event, paying tribute to one of their own.
We're bringing his spirit back to his home, and Michael spent as much time as humanly possible right here.
That's the truth. We really will miss him.
Again, an autopsy is planned to confirm his cause of death. A paddle for Michael Scott could become a yearly event for the Kalamazoo Paddle Club. Another memorial paddle scheduled for this Saturday evening with floating lanterns at the Jasper Dairy Boat Launch. There's also a GoFundMe page for him if you'd like to help the family. We have that on our website.
And you know, so many different ways to remember people, but this was truly where his heart lied, on the river.
He had been paddling since he was a kid. From everybody that I talked to, just was a passionate paddler, growing up along the Kalamazoo River, and it was just in his blood. And if anything good, though, can come from this tragedy, it's to remind people just how important it is to wear protective life vests when you're on the water.
Yeah, awareness for sure, like they said.